Hey beauties, thank you so much for tuning back into Lemomlife. In today's video, I wanted to share with you a few of the fragrances that I will be wearing this spring. And these fragrances just make me feel ultra feminine, very beautiful, super confident, and they just exude that pretty girl, ultra feminine aura, and they have been making me so happy. So I cannot wait to continue to enjoy these fragrances this spring. So if you're interested in seeing what's in my collection this spring, please stay tuned. To those of you who may have just found my video, thank you so much for tuning in. I do videos on lifestyle, on luxury, I do review videos, and I also sprinkle in my motherhood and homeschool journey. I'm a mom of 3, and so if you think you will enjoy those things, I would love it if you would join our family by hitting that subscribe button, and also make sure you hit that notification bell because that's gonna let you know as soon as my videos drop. All right, let's get into it. I have my tray down here, so what I'm gonna do is just pull the fragrance out and talk about it. So the first fragrance that I have been absolutely loving is À Ta Brève by Louis Vuitton. This is a recent purchase and you can already see the dent I've put in this purchase. What I love about this fragrance is it's a super feminine floral fragrance with some fruitiness at the top, but it has a sensuality and a mysterious air to it, if you will, because it has cacao in it. The cacao is more of a powdered cacao, so it's not like strong and in your face. It's definitely a base note in this fragrance, but in the dry down on my skin, I definitely smell that cacao, and I feel like it adds a richness and a depth and a mysterious vibe to this fragrance that makes it super duper sensual and feminine. That's how I feel when I wear this. I feel like I smell sweet, I smell feminine, I smell floral, and I also smell sensual. Like I have this mysterious, deep, sensual vibe to me. This makes me just feel super sexy, super feminine when I wear this, and very, very sexy. So love this fragrance. It's probably going to be my scent of the day today. At the top of this, you get a fruit. I believe it's lychee. It's kind of a sweet and slightly sour fruit. And then you also get that bergamot in the opening, and bergamot is one of my favorite notes in fragrances. The middle of this is where you get that peony, that floral note starts to come through, and then the base is where you get that, I forgot to mention, it has patchouli in it. So if you don't like patchouli, you definitely want to test it out, because sometimes patchouli comes across differently on different people's skin. So for some people, the patchouli is just overwhelming and it's too much, and for me this is a subtle patchouli. I imagine if it was stronger I wouldn't like this fragrance, but it's very subtle. It sort of grounds the fragrance and it supports the notes in this fragrance. The cacao is a beautiful base note as well, which adds, and the combination of those two really makes this fragrance super duper unique. I feel like the uniqueness of this fragrance comes from the base notes. So I think if you want something different and perfect for spring, not too sweet, not too floral, kind of a nice combination, you might like this. So go to your local Louis Vuitton store and go sniff this because you might like it. On the other end of the spectrum, I have a fragrance that, although it is ultra feminine, it is super innocent, and I love wearing this one as well, and that is my Parfums de Marly Casilli. Look at this bottle. This bottle is princess vibes, y'all. I just love it. So Casilli, I cannot say enough good things about Casilli. When I wear Casilli, I feel like a princess. I mean, if that doesn't tell you how amazing this fragrance is, I don't know what else will, but I feel so regal when I wear this fragrance. At the top of this, you get berries, like beautiful, juicy berries, and I think it has a black currant at the top. This also has that Parfums de Marly DNA because there is a touch of rose in here. And although I'm not the biggest fan of rose, this is a beautifully done rose. The rose in here is very subtle and it supports those top notes. The middle of this fragrance is where, for me personally, I start to get that frangipani, the tropical flowers, because this fragrance does have a slight tropical vibe to it. It's not tropical by any means, just a sprinkle of those tropical vibes, which I think adds to the creaminess of it and the uniqueness of this. For me, the base notes, Tonka City. Like all I get is like this beautiful rich tonka. I get a little bit of the sandalwood too as well, and I think that really depends on your skin. Some people may get a lot of sandalwood, some people may not. This also has vanilla in the base notes as well. So I love this fragrance. It's also powdery, it's sweet, it's floral, it's creamy, it has a touch of powderiness to it. Oh, it's like a cloud of sweet creamy powder is how I would describe it. It's a cloud. I forgot to mention the projection and longevity. So projection on this one and this one, I would say these have high projection. As far as the wear time, I would say they both perform about the same. Around the 4-hour mark, you may want to spritz yourself again. This one wears closer to your skin around the 4-hour mark. And this one just starts to die down a little bit, but it's not, people will still smell you. So I love these. So I have 2 more niche fragrances, and then I have some affordable ones for y'all. This one right here is Nectarine Blossom and Honey. I would say that this is the ultimate springtime fragrance because you get a sweetness and a greenness at the top of this fragrance. For me, the honey note in this is so strong. I get that nectarine at the top of this, and then it blends so beautifully with that note of honey that's in here. I feel like I'm smelling a nectarine that has been soaked and drenched in honey. There's also a touch of greenness to this fragrance. It's not a lot, but there's a touch of greenness, just a little touch of greenness in here, which makes it so bright and so just, it's sweet yet clean. Perfect for the springtime. For me, really, those are the only notes that I smell and that come out of my skin. It just smells like some fruit dipped in honey with a touch of greenness. So this is the ultimate springtime fragrance. I can't say enough good things about this fragrance. It is very light, it's non-offensive. You just have this beautiful, bright, fruity, green air about you. The floral in here is kind of like a white floral, and then you get that sweetness, you get that honey, a bit of green. This is just a perfect springtime fragrance. It's super feminine, and I cannot wait to wear this a whole lot more this season. My next fragrance, I have it in the rollerball size, and it is 7 Virtues Lotus Pear. I'm seriously considering purchasing the full-size bottle because this is a beautiful fragrance. If pear is one of your favorite notes, you're gonna love it. It's perfect for spring because this is so good, y'all. It smells very unique, but the pear note is one that we are all so familiar with, so it feels unique yet familiar at the same time. It has a juicy pear at the top. All I get is pear. The notes in certain places say that this has a peach note to it, and I can see that. I can see where they get that from because a lot of times peach and pear accords will smell similar, but for me, I envision pear, and the pear that I get in my other fragrance, in some of my other fragrances, that's what I smell in this. On my skin, what comes through next is the gardenia. And speaking of gardenia, this fragrance is so similar to Gucci's Gorgeous Gardenia, the newest release. I smelled it at Sephora. Gucci is a little bit more creamy and deeper and warmer, and this one is brighter. This is a bright florally pear. This also has geranium at the base, which I feel like really grounds this fragrance. But keeps it light at the same time. So this is a beautiful fragrance. This also pairs really well with vanilla. If you wanted to layer this with a vanilla fragrance, this would be amazing. I love this. It's so good, y'all. So now on to some affordable fragrances. So the next fragrance I have for you, I wanted to show this next because I don't know if pear is listed in this fragrance, but I smell pear, and it smells very similar to the type of pear that 7 Virtues uses, as well as Jean Paul Gaultier. La Belle has this pear note that smells the same to me, and the fragrance is Juicy Couture's Viva La Juicy. I'm sure you all are tired of seeing this fragrance. It's such a well-known fragrance, very affordable. You can get this at TJ Maxx or Marshalls. Please do not buy this full price because you can get it. TJ Maxx and Marshalls always has this. But yeah, I smell pear in this. I smell berries and pear at the top of this. I also smell that gardenia that's in Seven Virtues Lotus Pear. And those notes are why I think this fragrance would make a nice springtime fragrance. This also has those beautiful caramel and praline notes at the base. So I think this fragrance is nice for the springtime because it's warm yet light at the same time. It's not too warm, it's not too deep or dark. It's still very light, but it's like that cozy, comforting smell. So this is perfect for a spring date, a spring day date, anytime during the spring when you want something warmer and more cozy, wearing it at home, if you're just chilling at home. My husband likes this one on me as well. The longevity on this one, it doesn't last very long, but if you're wearing it during the day or to bed, I think you should be fine because it will definitely take you to about 4 hours. And if you spray this on your clothes, which is what I tend to do with my fragrances, they will last all day. So I love this. It's affordable. If you don't have it in your collection, I would highly recommend it. So I'm going to show you these next two fragrances together and then we'll talk about them separately. So these are the two fragrances right here. These are Ariana Grande's fragrances. This is Cloud. This is Thank You Next. I love these fragrances. They are so good for the price. You can probably find these on Walmart.com. You can pick these up at Marshall's, TJ Maxx. They're very affordable and these are very, very good fragrances. So let's start with Cloud. Cloud. This is literally a sweet cloud. This fragrance is so sweet, but it's warm at the same time. Immediately I get that creaminess. This has like a whipped cream, coconut in the notes, and those are the things that pop out to me first. This does have a lavender, and to me the lavender is very subtle. It's the top note, but it's not in your face. It's very, very subtle. I also do get some bergamot from this. The bergamot is very subtle as well. So yeah, what I get from this is I get a pear. I also just smell that cream and that coconut kind of blending so beautifully together. And I also get vanilla from this. Total vanilla vibes. Coconut, cream, vanilla, and pear. That is what I get from this fragrance. It is so beautiful. And on me, this fragrance dries down to something that smells a little unisex. And I'm okay with that, even though I love my feminine fragrances. I don't want to smell like my husband. I don't want anything unisex. I want to smell feminine. But for me, I don't mind that. This has that unisex vibe on the dry down. The opening of this though is my absolute favorite. I love this one. So with this one, I will caution you that there are two groups of people. One group that smells dill and pickle in the opening of this fragrance, and another group that doesn't. For me, I don't get dill, but I do get plastic, like new toy plastic is what I get in the opening of this. But it doesn't take that long to dry down though, and when it dries down, this is such a beautiful, beautiful scent. It lingers so long. This projects better and lingers longer than Cloud, in my opinion. This is just so long lasting, and once you get past that initial opening, you will enjoy the rest of this fragrance for so long. The top notes are a berry, and I do smell that berry at the top. This also has a pear, and then the dry down on me is coconut. That's probably the most prominent note. This is like a soft, creamy coconut musk. They say this is supposed to smell like macaroons, but I don't really get that, probably because I'm not familiar with them. I don't really eat them. But for me, it's like a coconutty musk that is super, super sweet. If I could describe this fragrance in one word, it's just sweet. Period. All right, y'all. So for my last fragrance, I wanted to show you guys something that you can get at any local Target, and it is Solinotes Amande. Oh, this fragrance is so beautiful, y'all. It's so beautiful. Oh my goodness, that almond in here is so beautiful. It's a beautiful pure almond, but it's a more green almond. It's not like your sweet, sweet almond. I get the sweetness of the passion fruit that's in here as well. And this has a beautiful jasmine in here as well. This is so good, y'all. This has a little bit of sandalwood. For me, the sandalwood is not very prominent, but it is a base note. And then this has a vanilla. I think the vanilla makes it a touch creamy, not overly creamy. I have another almond that is so much more warmer and creamier than this. This is more like a fresh almond with a touch of creaminess. It's very sweet, but it's very fresh. And that is why I included it in this video, because it's an almond that's wearable during the springtime. It's very fresh and uplifting, yet sweet and soft. I love the softness to this. It has this powdery vibe to it. So I would highly recommend this. I think this is only $19.99 at Target. Whether you get it online or you find it at your local Target, you will not regret this. And this is great for layering as well with some of your other fragrances. So I would highly recommend this. It's very affordable and it does last pretty similar to some of the other affordable ones. This is one of those really soft, cozy, comforting fragrances. I think those vibes are totally needed in the springtime as well, but what makes it spring appropriate is how bright and fresh and crisp this one is. It's also very soft and powdery, which makes it super feminine, so I would highly recommend this. So that wraps up my spring 2022 fragrances. I will definitely be back with another one of these spring videos because I have some other fragrances that I have my eye on that are coming to me that I want to try, that I want to test. So there will definitely be more of these spring perfume videos, so make sure you're subscribed so that you don't miss them, and also turn on your post notifications. I just wanted to remind you today to speak positivity over yourself. You are doing a great job. Whatever it is that you're doing, I just want to remind you today that you are doing a great job at it. Whether it's school, whether it's work, your career, whether it's your children, whether it's being a spouse, you are doing a great job. I want you to say that to yourself today. Soak it in, repeat it to yourself over and over again, empower yourself today, and then go out and let your light shine. And I will definitely be doing the same. I will see you all in another video. Thank you so much for watching.